Hey everybody, wherever and whenever you're watching from, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we're back in Girls Frontline 2 with part 2 of the basic guide on boss fight. Upon reaching tier 6 of boss fight, we're now asked to bring 2 teams. Tier 6 onward consists of 2 phases which we fight separately. Our rating now depends on the combined score for both phases. In this guide, I'll be giving you a general game plan to challenge Deichgraf using any team within a manageable level deficit for tiers 6 and 7. We'll then end the guide with a demo using my own run with my own team, with a caveat I'll talk about later. Phase 1 is pretty much the same as Tier 5, the only difference being the Aegis Blade that spawns is replaced by an Aegis Bulwark. Everything I talked about in Part 1 is still valid for this phase, so we'll be focusing on Phase 2. Phase 2 Deichgraf has a new set of 6 skills. Just like before, you can pause here and read through them or check them in-game. Unlike Phase 1 and the previous tiers, there's actually something to talk about with each skill here. The main mechanic of Phase 2 is tied to Blazing Directive. On turns 1 and 4, Deichgraf places a portal close to your deployment zone. Sending a doll through this portal activates the arena, which gives a random objective from 3 options. Cause a stability break on a unit, destroy 3 enemies, or deal damage not reduced by cover reduction. The doll entering the arena has 3 turns to complete the objective and reach the evac zone. Failing to do so deals damage to your entire team. While you could technically do this with any doll, vanguards are the best equipped to handle the arena. Graf's Discipline 2 is identical to Whiplash from Phase 1 and earlier tiers, while Hunt Patrol and Scrap Recycling are our new distancing management skills. Hunt Patrol randomly hits our units and deals damage in a 3x3 area around the drop site. While we can't control who gets hit, we can minimize the damage to our team by keeping them 2 tiles away from each other, especially isolating the doll we offer to take Discipline. Scrap Recycling, on the other hand, is completely avoidable by staying clear from any armor on the turn Deichgraf recovers them. Avoiding this is also important because Deichgraf gains increased defense and stability damage reduction for each doll hit by recovered armors. Lastly, Phase 2 Deichgraf is no longer stationary. Cross Prison is now a skill we have to pay attention to. On top of the damage it deals, it also increases Deichgraf's defense and damage reduction. There are 2 ways to deal with this. The first and straightforward option is to bring dolls that can cleanse buffs. This way, we only have to worry about avoiding the damage while maintaining our damage output throughout the fight. The second and less straightforward option is to reduce Deichgraf's movement to 0. Notice that Deichgraf's passive only blocks hard crowd control effects. On top of that, Deichgraf loses 1 movement on stability break. The reason this works is Deichgraf first attempts to move before using Cross Prison. Being unable to move because of 0 movement prevents Deichgraf from activating Cross Prison in the first place. Just like before, sticking to this game plan should allow you to reach or get close to an outstanding clear with any team that makes sense within a 2 to 5 level deficit or higher if you're running particularly strong characters. Do note that Deichgraf Phase 2 has a new set of weaknesses. It's weak to light and shotgun ammo and shock and corrosive damage. In terms of attempts, the game allows you to take a break in between each phase, which may let you squeeze in a bit more grinding for your second team, or swapping around common keys, weapons, and attachments. You can also choose to reset from Phase 1 if you'd like to try for more early points. That's it for the game plan and tips. We'll close with my demo. And do note, I'm running a weak team, and so I won't be doing the run to completion. Hopefully you find these helpful. Good luck on climbing up the tiers, and when you reach tier 8, we'll meet again for part 3. Wherever and whenever you're watching from, have a good day or good night, take care, and thanks for watching. Now for Phase 2, like I said, we are running Lotta, Swami, Vepli, and Krolik. Now we are up against level 45 Deichgraf, and this is why I mentioned earlier that I know for a fact we're not actually going to hit the outstanding goal. So I'm just gonna go through the game plan, but I'm not gonna complete the run because That would be a waste of tickets. We're gonna take my own advice from the last guide, where I'm just gonna go up to the last turn just to show you guys the game plan, and then I'm just gonna quit out because I'm gonna do the actual run for myself off record at the end of the week when I have a few more levels. So this kind of checks out. We're 6 levels behind, and I mentioned that, you know, a 2 to 5 level deficit is around where you can still have some team flexibility and still make it to outstanding. Beyond that, you need very specific teams if you want to meet the damage goals. So this layout's actually fine. Okay. There's Deichgraf phase 2. Deichgraf has used Blazing Directive, and that's the radar thing. Issued an ultimatum to all allied units. You need to dispatch a doll through the teleporter to enter the front line. After completing the command mission, an evacuation zone will appear within the front line. If successful evacuation is achieved, within 3 turns, all allied units will receive 1 stack of armor protection. Otherwise, the ultimatum will deal massive fixed damage to all allies. So we have a minigame we have to do. And there are 3 variations of this minigame so far that I've seen. So we're gonna go ahead and send over Vepley. And here... Ooh, I can't reach. Actually. We're gonna do this. And you can see here, cause stability break of at least 1 enemy unit and reach the evacuation zone within 1 out of 3 turns. So that's what we're gonna do. Actually, I could probably stand here. The other guy... I guess the other guy can reach me, but I want to be able to stab break and then immediately head on out. I could also do this, but it's a bit excessive. And the reason I'm okay standing like this is because we have Swami. Now for Swami, I want to be a little bit on the other edge here. Unfortunately, we can't reach the crocodile with this, but we don't want to be anywhere too close to Deichgraf, because as you can see, Deichgraf can move this time around, and that's moving before using Cross Prison, which is upgraded now. Cross Prison has a defense up and a damage reduction on self, so that's part of the other reason why I'm pretty sure I'm not going to reach outstanding here. So we're gonna put Swami on the outer edge. And Lotta. And the same. I would like for her to be on the other side of this cover, but she can't reach that far. For Krolik, I'm just gonna do this and go all the way out to this outer edge. Okay. Vepley. Can I... Oh, nice. Okay, there we go. I can clip Deichgraf with this, so I can at least have some damage from Vepley before she comes back. Now, on this turn, Deichgraf is gonna use these that... Well, it says they're normal armor, but on the map it's gonna say standard armor. And this is the replacement, basically, to the minigame from phase 1. Now he just tosses the armor at you. So, you can't really stop that. That's random. Okay. And then for Swami. So, at least ideally, you want your characters to be like far away from each other, so that at the very least the normal armor that drops only hits like one character at a time. So I want something like this. And now you'll notice he's going to do the minigame again on the next turn, or this turn rather, and he's going to do another armor throw, and then move and then cross prison. So again, we want to move far away from Deichgraf. So right now you can see his movement's kind of restricted because we have a movement down on him, and that means his cross prison is going to go max range up to here, and then here, and then over here, and also over here. So we want to stay away from this line. Oh, we're actually pretty safe here, all things considered. Swami could probably move a bit further back. And then Lotta. And this is the nice thing about the armors, is that they still technically count as enemies. So we can activate Lotta's loop, ult loop. This is a bad position though, admittedly. But if I move Lotta over here, she can't reach this and I'm gonna lose DPS, so... In your case, make sure you don't have your characters sticking together like this on a armor turn. Link Vepley. With Vepley... I'm actually perfectly willing to put Vepley out over here. Let me just check on the range of the... Oh! Okay, Deichgraf can't move. So that means I think I'm kind of safe from cross prison over here. And then Krolik. We're gonna go ahead and do this. And again. Now, we also still don't want to stick near PvP stuff anyway. Well, I'll explain later. It's not gonna do it just yet. I think because Deichgraf can't move, I should be safe here. Shouldn't be able to hit me with the cross prison. There's directive number 2. And as you can see, we have another variation over here. Now, I could actually just run Krolik over here on this one. I'm perfectly fine with using Krolik here. We do lose a bit of movement because she's coming in from very far. But we're going to take advantage of the fact that we're running vanguards here. And yeah, that is the unfortunate bit though, is because of the layout, and again because we lost movement. But if my Krolik was in a better position, like closer to the portal for example, I could have actually just ran right through And actually, you know what? I am willing to backtrack this. I'm willing to backtrack this just because I didn't do cross prison earlier. We're gonna run here. Okay, that was just me being greedy. Don't do that on your own run because you're letting the standard armor hit multiple of your units. But at the very least, it doesn't actually get anything from hitting you. It would be kind of insane if it did because this is random. You can't really avoid it. But now with the better movement I've afforded myself, you can see I can do this and Frolic immediately just does the mission, which is great. And here, now you can see he has a new move here, Scrap Recycling. He's gonna recall all the armors, and every one of your units that are near the armor when they get recalled gives them a stack of more defense and stab damage reduction, so we definitely don't want to be anywhere near these two things right now. At the very least, he's not going to do cross prison this time around, so I can move safely. Does he still have Overzealous? No, he's not, so we're going to reapply that. It's the def down I'm using right now. And then Swami. Move over here. Then Lotak is actually fine out in the open. Not a problem. I do want to hit both Deichgraf and the standard armor here. There you go. Okay, and now we have another cross prison turn. So we want to move as far away as possible from that graph. Actually, I can see the movement. We can kind of move a lot. Move 2 tiles. I can reduce that by... Never mind, I can't. Not yet. That means we want to stay... We want to stay pretty much away from this region. I think Swami's safe over here. Over here, Deichgraf is like kind of safe along this square, or actually over here on the outer edge. Ooh, it's a bit hard to gauge. Considering we don't have an arena anymore, there's no arena on the last few turns, I think I can start moving away from this wall. Can I still reach them? This might be a bad spot for Veplay actually. And for Lotta, I want to hit both of them. And for Krolik, no, there's no burn, unfortunately. So So we're gonna have to be creative here with where we move. Oh, actually, that does... Nice. So Lotta's damage did reduce the movement a bit. I still have a feeling Vepti's gonna get hit by Cross Prison here. I think Krolik is safe here. Yeah, Vepti did get hit. Now, before we go in on Deichgraf again, we have to cleanse these buffs from him. There we go. That's just gonna allow us to have a bit more damage to work with. Swami ult. And then Lotta. Let's go ahead and hit both of these. And Krolik. We just do this. Ow. Okay. Now it's gonna be another cross prison. Again. Around this wide is where we wanna stay away from. And then about this far. This far. Okay, so we definitely want to be away from... Lotta's position is actually safe, I think. Yeah, Lotta's position's safe because Deichgraf can't move in that direction for whatever reason. Over in this direction though, we need to get Swami out. Probably over here. Also need to reapply Overzealous. Go ahead, do that. Lotta. The Swami is gonna end up sitting on the fire, actually. Unless I go over here, but then we're in a good spot for a random armor to just drop on us. Oh, we've actually reduced the range because we've reduced the movement even further. Well, that's fine. Because he has Overburn, I am actually willing to use Krolik's ult here so we can activate another Swami action support. And we can move over here. Relatively safe. And now we're at turn 8, and as you can see, I'm at 44,937. I am pretty sure, like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna make this. But hopefully that demo was useful for you. Now, as I mentioned before, there are 3 variations on this one. The one that we got earlier was the breaking stability and also dealing damage to a target without activating cover damage reduction. So the other variation that shows up is destroying at least 3 enemies. Destroying at least 3 enemies. So you're gonna need AoE for that one. Either AoE or just chaining attacks. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the demo. I don't want to waste my ticket, so I'm gonna end it here.